Hi everyone, I'm Selka Biko from Group B and I will be presenting three of the 21 approaches or domains in communication for development. I will be focusing in the first three approaches or domains in communication for development. These are the action research, advocacy, and community communication, while the rest shall be discussed by my group mates. For the learning objective at the end of this report, fellow students will be able to learn and understand action research, advocacy, and community communication as approaches to communication development and implement them effectively and accordingly. For the first approach, we have the action research. So, what is action research? Action research is a practitioner focused method of problem solving. Based on DEVCOM 208 material, action research is not really a communication approach or domain, but an approach to undertaking and studying communication initiatives in development as part of the social sciences. It is defined as a type of applied social research differing from other varieties and the immediacy of the researcher's involvement in the action process, as cited by Foster in 1972. It aims to contribute to the practical concerns of people in an immediate problematic situation and to the goals of social science by joint collaboration with mutually acceptable ethical framework. Both the people and the researcher intend to be involved in the process of changing the system itself. Action research is a research method that aims to simultaneously investigate and solve an issue. In other words, as its name suggests, action research conducts research and takes action at the same time. Two types of action research: participatory action research and practical research. Participatory action research emphasizes that participants should be members of the community being studied, empowering those directly affected by outcomes of said research. In this method, participants are effectively co researchers with their lived experiences, considered formative to the research process. However, practical action research focuses more on how research is conducted and is designed to address and solve specific issues. Both types of action research are more focused on increasing the capacity and ability of future practitioners than contributing to a theoretical body of knowledge. Models of action research. Action research is often reflected in three action research models: operational, or sometimes called technical, collaboration, and critical reflection. Operational or technical action research is usually visualized like a spiral following a series of steps such as planning, acting, observing, reflecting. Collaboration action research is more community based, focused on building a network of similar individuals, example, college professors in a given geographic area, and compiling learnings from iterated feedback cycles. And critical reflection action research serves to contextualize systemic processes that are already ongoing. Example, working retroactively to analyze existing school systems by questioning why certain practices were put into place and developed the way they did. Action research proceeds in six steps: analysis, fact finding, conceptualization, planning, execution, more fact finding, and evaluation. This proceeds in a spiraling circle in essence. Action research in the application is the application of the scientific method in dealing with social problems with the aim of promoting people's liberation and growth. Action research versus traditional research. In terms of purpose, action research solve immediate problems, improve existing systems, while traditional research draw conclusions from data, advance existing knowledge, and provide generalizable and reliable findings. In terms of context, action research is reactive and derived from surroundings and usually not theoretical in nature, while traditional research is focused on crafting strong hypotheses and seeking causal relationships between variables and derived from theory. In terms of significance, action research is practical while traditional research is statistical. Advocacy. Now let's go to this approach. What is advocacy? Advocacy defines as the organization of information into an argument to be communicated through various interpersonal and media channels with a view to gaining political and social leadership acceptance and preparing a society for a particular development program. As the term implies, it is persuasive communication for or against an issue or concern. Types of advocacy: community advocacy, policy advocacy, grassroots advocacy, and legal advocacy. First is community advocacy. This type focuses on mobilizing individuals and groups within a community to address local issues. For example, a nonprofit might organize residents to advocate for affordable housing or improve public services. Second, policy advocacy. Policy advocacy involves working to influence laws, regulations, or governmental actions. This could mean lobbying for stronger environmental protections, proposing healthcare reforms, or championing equitable education policies. Third, grassroots advocacy. Grassroots advocacy empowers individuals at the local level to take collective action. It often involves letter writing, campaigns, petitions, or rallies aimed at demonstrating widespread support for a cause. And lastly, fourth, legal advocacy. In some cases, advocacy may involve pursuing legal action to protect rights or challenge injustices. Legal advocacy often works in tandem with public campaigns to bring about structural changes. How advocacy works in nonprofits. For nonprofits, advocacy serves as a critical strategy for creating change beyond direct services. For example, a nonprofit working to alleviate homeless may provide temporary shelters while also advocating for affordable housing policies to address root causes. To be effective, advocacy efforts require a clear strategy. Challenges in advocacy. Advocacy often involves addressing deeply entrenched systems of power, which can take time and persistence to change. Nonprofits must also be prepared to face opposition, whether from individuals, corporations, or political entities that disagree with their cause. Advocacy is not without its challenges. For nonprofits status in the United States, there are legal limitations on lobbying activities, requiring careful navigation to stay compliant. Additionally, advocacy often involves addressing deeply entrenched systems of power, which can take time and persistence to change. Nonprofits must also be prepared to face opposition, whether from individuals, corporations, or political entities that disagree with their cause. Clear communication and strong stakeholder support can help overcome these hurdles. Why advocacy matters? Advocacy is about more than raising a voice. It's about creating a platform for those who often go unheard. It helps bridge the gap between those with power and those in need, pushing for policies and practices that promote equity and justice. And now let's discuss community communication. What is community communication? Based on my online research, community communication is the exchange of information between members of a community. This can include communities based on geographical location or common interest. Communication is a social process and shared experience that helps to build communities. Communication is also used to solve shared problems, make decisions, and accept change as a community. Per DEFCOM 208 material, the College of Development Communication defined community communication as the process of social interaction in small groups using interpersonal and or indigenous or small media. It was also identified as a domain of development communication. The interpersonal or indigenous small media utilized in community communication include community audio tower system or CATS using public address technology, low power radio broadcast, capable television, puppetry, audiovisual media used in a group settings, community theater and other folk media and expressions. Community development is highly participatory, involving the community in planning, producing, and evaluating messages. Common types of community communication: chats, community calendars, community live streaming, community mobile apps, conferences, exhibits, flyers, lectures, local marketing, local radio, meetings, online forums, podcasts, community mobile apps, public announcements, questionnaires, social media posts, surveys, training sessions, virtual events, word of mouth, community bulletin boards, community events, community magazine workshops, local newspapers, local television, newsletters, social events, and town hall meetings. Now, let's move on to the importance of communication and community management. Communication is key in community management as it plays a very important role in building, maintaining, and boosting community engagement and growth. The importance of communication and community management helps to build trust and transparency, boost engagement, improves conflict resolution, provides a channel for feedback, enhances your messaging, encourages diversity and inclusion, helps with community growth, allows you to build relationships, fosters collaboration, facilitates learning, manages expectations, great to share successes, promotes events, and improves reputation as well. The rules of communication in community development: conscientization of members of participating communities, provision of relevant information, provision of opportunities for dialogue and discussion, provision of opportunities for sharing information and ideas, communication as an indispensable tool in all stages of community development, communication as unifying factor in community development activities, communication as an important factor for successful community development projects, and communication motivates the target audience to promote community development. In conclusion, action research, advocacy, and community communication are all approaches aimed at creating change, but they differ in their focus, methods, and goals. Action research is a systematic process where researchers collaborate with participants to identify a problem, implement solution, and reflect on the outcomes. Its goal is to create practical solution and improve practices within a specific community or organization. And its method is cyclical process of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. Advocacy, however, is actively supporting a cause, policy, or group to influence change, often in legal, political, and social settings. Its goal is to promote awareness, policy change, and protect rights. Method is campaigning, lobbying, protest petitions, and policy recommendations. Lastly, community communication is the process of sharing information, dialogue, and engagement within a community to strengthen relationships and address issues. Its goal is to foster understanding, participation, and social cohesion. Method is media platforms, town hall meetings, storytelling, and local radio broadcasts. I hope you have learned from this report and may now define and differentiate action research, advocacy, and community communication confidently and implement them effectively. For our discussion, can action research, advocacy, and community communication work together to address a social issue effectively? Explain or cite an example. Thank you.